Okay, here's an Evergo. Collectors would call this style the Emperor style, since SMC had a model very similar to this, and that's what they called it. Evergo called this model the Roma. We tend to call them all Emperors because for the longest that was the only model name we knew of any fan of this style. Been trying to figure out what exactly these are based on. Tom didn't know, he just thought they were ugly. And I'd be inclined to agree, but I also think they're cool and very vintage looking. And this is the most rare and unique version that I could think of. You can see those blade tips are quite an odd design. Unlike other Emperor styled fans, it has a very narrow switch housing and some ribbing on the bottom of the housing. And it has a 3-speed knob. I don't know if you can see it. Some versions were variable speed and some were 3-speed, but this is the only version I've seen with a 3-speed knob. I've got several videos up of this. Fellow collector Matthew Ray picked this up off of Craigslist for me, specifically for the museum. I was looking for one of these for here. Almost all Emperor fans came with that tiny, very thin schoolhouse globe you see there. Okay, one of my favorites here. We still don't know who made this. I call it the I fan because the vents are shaped like a capital letter I. It's imported, and it's got a cast iron stack motor in it. Only time I've ever seen a cast iron stack motor. Don't know anything about it other than I love it and it's cool. One other collector has found some in chrome, which is even cooler. He has, I think, 2 or 3 of them. And those are the only ones known to exist. Nobody knows who made them. Nobody knows anything about it. I love it, and I'm glad to see it hanging. I wanted to have at least one curved-bladed industrial fan represented, but the problem is most industrial fans look the same. White motor, white blades, the end. And so I wasn't going to bring one, and then I found this SMC M48, which is a little bit more distinctive. It's got the silver button, it's got the ribs in the motor, it's got the beehive canopy. Technically, these weren't sold as an industrial or commercial fan. These were sold for residential use in the 70s. This one's from 79. And I do have a video up of it. Here's another original copy. Collectors call these banana fans, and you can probably guess why, because the vents are shaped like bananas. They were made by Union and Evergo, which were 2 neighboring factories owned by the same people, or at least that's what we've been told. And we found these with both the Union label and the Evergo label. This is a really strange version. Look at the shape of the blades. And these also have 2 pull chains, and the 2 pull chains operate a pulley, and the pulley operates a variable speed control. So you pull it a little bit, you get high. You pull it a little bit more, then a little bit more, a little bit more, and the speed gradually decreases. It is a shaded pull motor in there. I do have a video of this one up. I bought this in Virginia years ago when I was traveling and just hung on to it ever since. This is a Leslie Locke Played Again Sam is the name of the fan model. It's the same. Leslie Locke was a relabel for Evergo, which is actually, I think this one was actually relabeled Leslie Locke as well. So these 2 came from the same factory. I wanted to have one of these type of fans. You see it's just basically a spinner motor with wood blades on it and no switch housing, so it's essentially a commercial fan with wood blades. And I wanted to have that style represented, but again, most of them look very much the same. But this has a very unique blade shape. You can see, we call these baseball talking is hard. We call these baseball bat blades because of the shape. That blade shape is actually patented, although I'm sure the patent is long expired. So I think that's everything, and that's made for a very lengthy video. I'm going to go through everything again, but I also want to give you a challenge. In hanging these fans, I brought a lot of down rods with me, but I did not have enough long down rods, so I had to get some black iron pipe, and I painted 4 pieces of black iron pipe, and then I also used a brand new Fanimation down rod right off the shelf without painting it or drilling it or changing it in any way. So My challenge to you is, can you figure out which fans have the non-vintage down rods? Like I said, there are 4 painted down rods and 1 off-the-shelf Fanimation down rod. So anyone who gets it right gets free admission to the museum for life. That's a joke because admission is already free, but I will give some sort of prize or recognition or something to anybody who gets it right. So let's take a look through everything again. The lights that you see here were all made by Tom. He took vintage fan cages and installed ceiling fan light kits in them. So if you're somebody that likes vintage fans, you should write Fanimation or Tom Frampton or Nathan Frampton and let them know how much you enjoyed seeing all of these installed here in the museum. And if you're able to, you should definitely come and visit. And you may have seen my video of the downstairs. The downstairs is incredible with all the different antique fans, ceiling and otherwise. And the upstairs here is also incredible. I'm really proud to have all my stuff here. A lot of these are some of my very favorite pieces in my collection. So I'm glad to finally have them hanging up someplace where other people can appreciate them. I mean, heck, if they're just in a box, I'm not even appreciating them. I'll try to post this tonight, and I will have one more day here. So if I post it tonight and you see it tonight and you have any requests, let me know and I'll come back in here tomorrow. I don't even know the dates today. It's the first week in November and it's Thursday. So if you see this Thursday night, the first week in November, or early in the day on Friday, please comment on the video and I will try to accommodate whatever your request is. I live driving distance from this museum, so if anybody plans to make a trip to come see it, let me know, and if I'm available, I will meet you here. And then I can also show you around Fanimation a little bit, or get one of the great people from Fanimation to show you around. I'm going to try to do some videos of the rest of Fanimation as well. The whole place is a paradise for anybody who loves fans. Okay. Thank you so much for watching.